Now, on my previous video, I had the different items that I use to mold my hair. I forgot one thing. Wide tooth comb. Something that has some wide teeth in comparison to this. I use this prior to molding my hair to kind of make sure there are no tangles or whatever the case may be. And I comb through that these two products here. I'll spray these in, kind of comb them through with this to kind of loosen it up and get the hair where it's nice and ruly, and before I use the small tooth comb, so that I'm not snaring and tearing and ripping up my hair with this small tooth comb here. So I use this first. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I always start. I don't know if it really has any if it matters if you use this before you use this, but this is just the order that I put them in, because this seems like it's a little bit more of a protection, as where this is just kind of a additional conditioner. I just put this in first. I don't know, call me weird, but so anyway, my mirror is over here, so I might be looking off a little bit, but I just spray a generous amount in my hair, and then I take my wide tooth comb and I kind of manipulate a little bit, because I don't want to just start digging in my hair according to the way I wash it. If I wash it with my head over, all my hair is going this way. So I don't want to just take the comb and start combing it this way. I use this rat tail. It's very helpful, you know, in kind of maneuvering the hair and kind of getting it moving a little bit. So I just kind of use that to move the hair around a little bit. And then I take it, and I'm not digging. I just run it through the hair to ensure that it's nice and knot free or tangle free, and I'm very gentle with it. Okay, and then I take the leave-in conditioner. This bottle is dark, so I don't know if it actually, you know, separates or what, so I always give it a little shake before I spray it on my hair. Good bit of sprays, not too many, because I don't want it to be all thick and product build up, and then my hair is kind of nasty. I have fine hair, so like the relaxer I use a regular strength. It doesn't take a whole lot for it to lay it down and get it relaxed and nice and polished like I want it. My molding process does not take as much either. My hair is very fine, but I have a lot of strands, if that makes sense. It's not thin, the strands are not thick, but I have a lot of them, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I just work this on through. And then I got some tips from a fellow YouTuber. Her name is The Hair Raiser, Ayana Baca, I believe. I could be murdering her name, but anyway, she's a YouTuber, and I got some molding tips from her. So now I come back with this, and I'm going to measure from my ear up, and that's where I'm going to place a small part in the top of my head. Just a small one, because I don't really do parts in my hair. I just kind of mold it and let it part itself, if that makes sense. And then next, I'm going to take my gel. I'm going to open the gel up, take my comb and kind of dip it in just a little bit. You can see how much I have. And then from there, I'm going to kind of separate the longer top portion from the side and the back. And I'm going to take the gel and just kind of rub it through, if that makes sense, before I actually just comb it through, because I don't want to put too much in one area. Okay, so then from there, I'm going to take it where I'm just rubbing the tips, and I'm going to comb it in a downward like this. I'm pressing the comb up against my head, and I'm combing it down, and then using my finger to smooth it. So, let's see. You see that gel, because of the consistency of the gel, it lays that hair down instantly. Okay, and then you should have a little extra gel. Just take it and rub it. And move on around the head. Okay, then I'll take a little bit more so I can do the other side. Just a little bit more. Okay. And I'm going to do the other side. And I just kind of allow the teeth to touch my scalp, and that's how I'm kind of running the gel through. so that I'm not putting too much in one particular area. Okay? So then from there, I'm going to start rubbing it through. Pressing my comb up against my head. Using my fingers to smooth as after I comb. I'm following the comb with my fingers. And it's time for me to trim, but I'm not sure if I want to grow out or what. But even for this here. But it's all in the rat tail comb. That's why I say I use it to shape. Okay? So that's my sides and my back. Okay, that's nice and smooth. Now from there, I can go ahead and decide how I want my sides to be. Using the very tip of my rat tail comb, I'll just rub it up against my skin and shape my sides. And that helps give me that polished look. Nice and cleaned up. Now I do clean up with my clippers too, but if you don't have time for that or you're not comfortable doing that, there are different tips and tricks. See there? And that just gives you that little shape. If that's what you like. You know, I have me on sideburns right now. And then I take the tip of that comb and just shape it. And being that you're using gel, it's definitely going to take the shape that you put it in. Okay? And make sure that back is laying down. And there's one other thing. Oh, I didn't realize I use so much when I actually do this thing here. And I rinse my comb off just a little bit because I don't want the gel in the very top where I'm going to do most of my heat styling. So I'll rinse that gel off of my comb, close the gel, and move that. And now I'm going to go to the foam wrap. And just my same towel that I've been using the whole time, all covered in hair dye and all that. But this is only a once a month thing. And I take it, kind of give it a little shake. I don't know, just weird. And I pump, 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 pump. I'm going to kind of rub that all through my hair. Okay. Uh-oh, I dropped the gel. I don't have a whole lot of counter space to work with. And I just smoothed it. Smooth it down. And I use my fingers. Continue to use my fingers to smooth it. And I smooth all the way down to the bottom. I don't just get to a certain point because I want my mold to be nice and smooth. Okay, and then I come over here. Because I've already kind of created the direction that I want my hair to go in, I'm just combing the hair down. And I'm making sure I keep that kind of shape to my sideburns. Now based on whatever side you want, you comb that hair down, but you still use the tip of that comb to make sure it stays in that nice little, side shape that you created earlier. And then I just kind of comb this through. Now if you find that you're having a little too much tangles to your liking, use that wide tooth comb. But then I kind of take this at an angle, kind of swoop it around it. Okay. And just continue to use that tip of the comb to give it that shape. And see, now I'm just using the comb to direct the hair. Excuse me for being so kind of messy like with this right now. But I have a lot of liquid in my hair. So what I think is important is to make sure you take as much water out of your hair as possible, because you truly don't need your hair to be so soaking wet with water because you're already using liquid products. I mean, there are all kinds of little ways that I like to do my sideburns. I'll do like a little curly Q, or kind of a little finger wave type. Just different things. But we're just going to go with the basics today. And see, there you have it. And I'll just wipe away the excess. Okay. See, that's nice. And then that last product that just kind of finishes it off and makes sure that the mold, ensures that the mold is on point, is a bristle brush, a double-sided bristle brush at that. Because I like to use the hard side when I am molding my hair, and the soft side when my hair is dry and I'm actually styling. I'll just wipe away all that excess product. Let me grab that brush. I like to use this one. It's small, cute. But anyway, just for that back. And I just brush it. Okay. And everything is nice and looking like I think I'd like to have it. And now I'm going to use the strips. And where are my strips? I must have dropped them. Oh, what did I do with my strips? I don't know what I did with my strips. They should have been right here on the counter. Oh, I dropped them on the floor. The importance of this little thing being on them. It's great. So I'm going to use about 3 of these strips. So I just tear them. Take it over my shoulder. Use my mouth and try not to show my true colors. But I just take it and I lay it down and pull it tight. Use that brush. That brush and those fingers to ensure that that lays down. And then I tie this one, and I'm going to take a third one and tie it. So that's just to ensure that that back is nice and smooth. And I tie it. Not too tight to hurt my head. Now for me, because my sideburns are so long, I leave it over my ears. I know some people probably can't stand that. But that also protects me. When I'm sitting under the dryer, it gets hot under there, so it covers my ears. So I just kind of keep my head. My husband always likes to laugh at me because I always have my head tilted like this. But that's to ensure that this stays smooth as it dries. So that it doesn't dry with all these waves. Because my hair, for whatever reason, in the back and the sides tries to remain curly. And I'm trying to get rid of that. So anyway, I'm going to go under the hair dryer for 30 minutes. And then I'll come back and do another video on how I actually style the hair.